Hello, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that would like to do a knock-knock joke with you, just to play along at home. Knock-knock. Interrupting cow. I told it wrong. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Extraordinary Adventures Pirates from Forbidden Games. In Extraordinary Adventures Pirates from Forbidden Games, 2 to 6 players are essentially going to engage in a great pirate race throughout the Caribbean. Caribbean? But there are 3 tracks that lead from various spaces in the Western Caribbean to the space of Trinidad. And essentially, you're trying to move each of your pirate ships along those tracks in order to be the first to reach to Trinidad or be in the first place when they get there. That will help you award points. But there's a lot more going on here. There are also various merchant spaces which contain cubes that you can detour off of the track to go get. And there are also ports that you can detour off the track to go get. And these are going to be very important in the game. Now, each player is going to start with a deck of 10 cards. And this is your starter cards, and they have information on that. Usually they have kind of a cute little pirate graphic, and then beneath it you have in one corner a number of spaces you can move, and then you will have flavor text, but then you may also have kind of text that you can take advantage of. You can either do the card text or the point value for movement when you play that card. Each turn you can play 3 cards. Now you can play 1 card for each of the tracks, or you could play all of your cards onto one track and really get one guy out there ahead. But again, you may want to take advantage of the text, which will let you do other things as well. Your starter cards have essentially 3 different types of cards. You've got ones that just move you 1, ones that just move you 2, and then ones that'll move you 3, or you can actually get rid of one of your other cards, so you can use it to kind of cull your deck. There's a bit of a deck building aspect to this game. Now, when you depart from the main track to go after those merchantmen, there will be cubes there, different colored cubes. You can grab those different colored cubes if you get into that space, plus you can take a card from the merchantman deck. The merchantman deck is going to have more cards that you can put in your deck, and a lot of them are more powerful. Not necessarily, but a lot of them will allow you to kind of move further or do other fun and interesting things. Now, you also have ports. Again, you can detour from the track to go to a port. Now, if you go to a port, you can grab a port card. There are 3 face-up port cards. You can grab one of them, or you can grab the one from the deck face down. Take your chances. And these are very powerful cards that are going to come out in your deck. They will give you some very important advantages during the game. But just as critically, while you're in port, you can trade in any cubes you may have robbed for the treasure tiles. Now, the treasure tiles say which cubes it takes to claim them, and this is one of the ways you're going to score points. You're going to score points by getting those different treasure tiles. So players are essentially going to be going around and around, playing the cards for movement, playing the cards for abilities, raiding the merchantmen, heading into ports and buying the treasure tiles and gaining cards. And as I say, the very first one to Trinidad will effectively end the game. As soon as one ship from any of the tracks arrives in Trinidad, the game is over. You then go to scoring. Essentially, you're going to look at who has the most treasure tiles, and you're also going to look at what place you are in each of the tracks, because depending on where your ships are in each of the tracks, you're going to score more points that way. So you're going to get points from your treasure tiles, from where you are on the tracks. Some of the cards may have victory points as well, and every cube you still have left over will count as 1/2 of a victory cube at the end of the game. So you add all of these factors together, and whoever has the most points wins Extraordinary Adventures Pirates. So Extraordinary Adventures Pirates, first of all, I have to say, this map is gorgeous. This is the kind of map you don't want to play on this game board. You want to frame it. It's art. It is so beautiful. I just fell in love with this game board as soon as I saw it. I'd actually seen a little bit about this on I think Board Game Geek, and I thought it looked like a great game. I was interested in it. And somebody had told me that it was just, it's just a racing game, and they were kind of dismissive of it. And I'm not a huge fan of racing games per se, so I'm like, well, okay, we'll see. And I was actually contacted by the good people at Forbidden Games, and they asked me if I wanted to go ahead and take a look at it. And I thought, yeah, okay, I'll take a look at it. And so I got some friends together. We sat down, we set it up, and we started playing it. And it looked a little light. It looked a little lighter than generally I like. But I was intrigued by the deck building mechanic here, because I love board games that have kind of deck building aspects to them. And so that was something, okay, there could be something here. Well, we're playing the game, and what we're finding is there's real competition. There's real tough decisions. There's tough decisions in how you play those cards. Do you play them for the movement points? Do you play them for the text? There's tough decisions of, do I go after these merchants? What will that give me? I could use another merchant card, but do I need the cubes? Is there cubes that I can trade in for treasure tiles that I want? And then, when do I go to port? When do I go to port to trade those in? Is somebody else going to go to port and claim that treasure tile I want before me? How do I do that? And which tracks do I spend my cards on? So there's a lot of good choices here. Now, to be sure, this is a light game. This is a light game. That's not a bad thing at all. I'm just saying it's not a deeply strategic game. It's not a deep sandbox game or anything like that. But it's a solid game. I really enjoyed it. My friends really enjoyed it. We all got a kick out of this game for what it is. It's a fun, smart, clever racing game that is just a lot of fun to play. So the recommendation for the discriminating gamer for Extraordinary Adventures Pirates is buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We are The Discriminating Gamer, and I think I'm ready to try that joke again. Knock, knock. Interrupting cow. Interrupting cow Johnson. A cow named Johnson, right? Weird.
Please somebody help me on my feet again. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
We supervillains may be evil, but we're not really bad people.